You see that? Between the mountain and the sea. No, between mountain and sea. You see? Oh, I can't see. Between Mountain and Sea by Jessie McCrory, illustrated by Megan McCrory. Mermaid Dream. That night I dreamed of swimming effortlessly. I dove into cold water and felt it stream along my body like silk pulled through fingers. I pushed forward with my lower body, swift and graceful in a way that I never had been while awake. I kicked downwards and did not feel the weight of water above me, only soft, endless caress of the ocean around me. My eyes were open. I waited for the sting of grit and salt, but it did not come. Once I pushed past the froth at the edge of the surf, bubbles popping along my cheeks and sand shifting around me, I could see. Not far, but clearly enough to swim. I drifted over rock and sand, and then through a forest of kelp that swayed like dancers. Around me, life moved. Fish flickering through shadows, small creatures shivering out of my way. We slid past each other, aware but separate. I followed the sea floor as it sloped downwards towards a crevasse where the continental shelf broke off into mystery. The dark cold below beckoned, patient with gravity. My ears rang, first with the distant retreat of the surf, and then with something deeper, a heartbeat, a thrum, a pulse that wasn't mine, but was part of me anyway. Everything touched the ocean, and the ocean touched everything, including me. I was a single cell in a vast living body, a node in a network of current and breath. I was food and energy and movement and song. In the dream there was no end to where I could swim or what I could become. Wake up, dragon. Last night I woke up a dragon. As a dragon. I was a dragon when I awoke. I stood on the peak of a mountain with the sun beating against the back of my neck. I breathed in crisp, thin air, expanding my lungs like dirigibles, and I felt it heat as it passed through me. When I inhaled, let me try that again. I'm going to start this whole sentence over. Last night, I woke up a dragon. As a dragon. I was a dragon when I woke. I stood at the peak of a mountain with the sun beating against the back of my neck. I breathed in crisp, thin air, expanding my lungs like dirigibles, and felt it heat as it passed through me. When I exhaled and unfurled my wings, the air came out as warm mist. Oh, you want to see the picture? Can you see? The sunlight soaked into the thin membranes of my wings, warming me the way it warms a newly hatched butterfly. Slowly, fully, from the inside out, I watched. I listened. I stood above the trees. The wind whistled past my body, pushing at me as if I were another cloud. The granite beneath me shifted, crumbling into gravel under my claws, moving with my weight, with my breath. I inhaled the wind, pulling it into me until I could hold no more. I straightened, lifted, and held my head inside my rib. I straightened, lifted, held it still inside my ribs. And then I let it go. That one's hard to see without more light. And without it, I looked back into myself, settling again on the mountaintop. Clouds far away dragged their shadows across the land. The river caught the sun and glimmered like a ribbon. I swung my tail in imitation of that river and heard stone breaking behind me. Fall, tumble, crash, and I hardly noticed. An eagle rose below me and screamed. A deer ran. A bear lumbered. I breathed them in, and I felt myself lift again. My wings arched, ached. My wings ached for the sky. Might have arced too. I let myself fall forward, off the mountain, off the rock, into the air. My breath inside me, the air all around me, currents under my wings, all of it was one ocean of sound and heat and cold. Warm air rose from the stone and lifted me. Wings pushed, turned, urged. I angled my body, my tail, my wings, and shifted with the currents. Below me the world opened. This is mine, I thought. Mine to love. Mine to protect. Mine to feed. Mine. And yet it does not know me. It does not need me. It will still be without me, but maybe it will be less. I circled high above the eagle. I rolled and dove through the sky. I fought the wind until I could fight no more, and then I rested on top of it. This is all there is. This moment. This movement. This breath. With distance, a story becomes a myth. With retelling, even things that happen to us become legends that we live by. And that's where I'm going to stop.